Now on Coast TV News.
Royal shock. A local radioactive oncologist weighs in on the cancer diagnosis of the Princess of Wales.
A smashed-in back bumper on a Millsboro road. What firefighters say happened here.
High school athletes getting a payday. That could be reality here in Delaware.
From home buyers to the homeless, how the state is trying to address the affordable housing crunch.
Well, it's a cloudy evening here along the coast. Still remain dry, but rain is on the way. I'll be tracking the wet weather moving in for the weekend. Coming up in just a few moments.
This is Coast TV News at 11.
Name, image, and likeness. It's abbreviated as NIL, but for high school athletes in Delaware, it could mean MONEY. Good evening, I'm Charlie Sakaitis.
And I'm Mallory Metzner. Welcome to our News at 11. We begin tonight with a massive shakeup on the horizon for high school athletes here in the First State.
The Delaware Interscholastic Athletics Association is considering opening up name, image, and likeness rules for high school athletes. Now, sports fans have become increasingly familiar with the term NIL the last few years.
Coast TV's Charles Reinert explains what NIL is and how this could change the impact athletes have here in the First State.
Name, image, likeness. 3 simple words that are flipping the field in the world of sports.
In essence, what student athletes be able to do is market their own brand.
NIL allows for amateur athletes to make money off of, well, their name, image, and likeness. They wouldn't exactly be getting a check to play on any specific team, but they could get paid through other means, like brand deals or sponsorships. Over just the past few years, we've seen this completely change college athletics. And now the DIAA is seeing if it could work with Delaware high school athletes. NIL has made massive waves throughout the sports world, and it's gotten a lot of young athletes big paydays. Bronny James, who is the son of LeBron James, is currently making $6 million in his NIL deal, according to Sports Illustrated. Now, that is an extreme case, and he is just one athlete at the University of Southern California, but it does give you an idea of how much money these athletes could be making. Executive Director David Baylor says the DIAA wants to make sure that if these rules become the law of the land, that the rules are fair.
It keeps the schools out of it, meaning that you can't have a booster funneling money to a student athlete. The school itself cannot create its own clubs and therefore generate money to pass on to student athletes.
Delaware wouldn't be the first state to do this. 30 other states, including Oklahoma, have already opened up NIL for its high school athletes. And the Delaware plan has some of the same guidelines. Baylor says the board understands the reservations that some have, and they want to make sure that if a change is made, it is done properly.
There are some concerns because of the age of our student athletes. We want to make sure there's definitely some supervisory parental involvement in this.
Baylor says all of this is still in the early discussion phase, and the DIAA is actively looking for opinions in a survey you can take online. The survey is opened up until April 1st. Baylor told me that the hope is the DIAA board will review the results of that survey at their meeting next month. I'm Charles Reinert in Sussex County, Coast TV News.
And this is going to lead us right into the Coast TV poll this evening. We want to know, should high school athletes be allowed to get paid via endorsement? Let's take a look at the results.
Looking at the screen here, it looks like the majority, 87%, saying no, they're too young. This has been the majority of the vote all night long. 11% say yes, it would be fair, and just 2% think it depends on the sport.
Now, you can vote on this if you would like at coasttv.com or use our Coast TV mobile app.
Making headlines around the world, Kate Middleton, the Princess of Wales, shocking the world today with a cancer diagnosis, adding she is now in the early stages of chemotherapy.
The 42-year-old wife of Prince William, Britain's future king, was hospitalized for nearly 2 weeks at the private London clinic after having what was billed as major abdominal surgery in January. It was thought her condition was non-cancerous and that the surgery had been successful. However, Kate said today she tested after the operation and found cancer had been present.
Kate said in the statement released by Kensington Palace, quote, "I am now in the early stages of that treatment." She thanked the public for their support, but also asked for time, space, and privacy while completing her treatment.
It has taken me time to recover from major surgery in order to start my treatment. But most importantly, it has taken us time to explain everything to George, Charlotte, and Louis in a way that's appropriate for them and to reassure them that I'm going to be okay.
King Charles was himself diagnosed with cancer last month and has been undergoing treatment. Kate's surgery and withdrawal from the public led to some commentary, some conspiracy theories, lots of speculation that spread across social media.
According to an oncologist we spoke to with Tidal Health, there has been an increase in younger women being diagnosed with colon cancer in our area. However, there is hope in recent survival rates.
Patients are living longer. We're curing more patients than we ever had in the past. And if you look at the national data, you just see an upward trend in survival for pretty much all cancer types right now. So some of the new techniques and the new immunotherapies that were coming out are just, it's a game changer.
Cancer Support Community Delaware told CoastTV News today that it is important for a young woman such as Princess Kate to address the cancer as aggressively and with as much treatment as she has available. And again, the type of cancer Kate has not been revealed. Now let's take a live look outside back here at home into Milford as we check on the weather tonight. Our first alert meteorologist Alex Seymour is tracking some stormy weather this weekend. Let's check in with him. Good evening, Alex.
Good evening. Yeah, we've got some very stormy weather on the way for the next 24 hours here along the coast. Still looking pretty quiet out there as we take a live look out on our Tyndall's Casual Furniture camera. This is at the Ocean City Art Lake. But the clouds, they have moved in, and soon we are going to be seeing that rain start to push into the region. We can see on our satellite radar picture, rain moving into southern portions of Virginia, a large, expansive area of rain moving through the southeast. That is going to be moving across Delmarva over the next 24 hours. Along with it, some strong gusty winds. Right now, winds still rather light, only gusting 5 to 10 miles per hour. Going to be gusting over 40 miles per hour during the daytime hours tomorrow as that rain really starts to move into the area. By midnight tonight, we could see a few sprinkles, but once we head closer to sunrise Saturday morning, that's when that steady, heavy rain will be moving in. That's going to last most of the day on Saturday. I have more details on that rain and wind coming up in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Alex. We have new photos tonight of a crash that happened in Millsboro earlier today. Take a look at your screen. This happened on Bay Farm Road near the Peninsula Lakes development. The Indian River Volunteer Fire Company says it appears that the white Mazda that you see on the screen was hit from behind by a Chevy Equinox. You can see the Mid-Sussex Rescue Squad responded to evaluate everyone in the two vehicles. Delaware State Police is investigating.
Affordable housing, it is a nationwide problem, but Delaware legislators are trying to address the issue here in the first state. This is becoming more of a challenge due to rising rental costs combined with inflation on nearly every product or good. On Thursday, State Senator Russell Huxtable introduced 7 bills that will help tackle the problem. For Martha Gary, who works with the Milford Advocacy for the Homeless, the increasing number of people without a roof over their head is beyond upsetting.
And you go to bed crying many nights because you see people who are bus drivers, you see people who are working in the local stores here, and people don't know that they're homeless.
A couple of the bills in this package of affordable housing legislation will go before the Senate Housing and Land Use Committee next Wednesday.
Now in your traffic news, there's a road closure in Georgetown. DelDOT says Patriots Way between Fox Run Road and Route 113 is closed for the construction of an intersection that's related to the Millsboro Bypass project. The agency says detours are posted.
If you notice something flying around in the air on Chandler Street near Milton Memorial Park next week, it's probably drones. Don't get too worried. Drones have been washing the water tower this week, and according to the water department, drones can help clean the tower with high-pressured water. It's also safer for crews that can stay on the ground.
New at 11, we have photos of a bad house fire in Cambridge. The Rescue Fire Company posted on Facebook earlier tonight. This was at the 1000 block of Travers Street. You can see a lot of fire coming from the back of the home. No word yet on how much damage was caused or if there were any injuries. You're looking live now at the Capitol in Washington, D.C., where the United States Senate is still in deliberation over a spending bill that would keep open portions of the government. They have a midnight deadline to get something done.
Now, earlier today, the House of Representatives approved this bill, and that's how it got to the Senate. The $1.2 trillion in funding would complete the funding of the federal agencies through fiscal year, which ends in September 30th. If they don't get a deal done by midnight, critical government operations, including the Department of Defense, Homeland Security, Labor, and others, could be impacted.
In other political news, the already razor-thin Republican margin in the House is getting one vote smaller. Republican Representative Mike Gallagher of Wisconsin is calling it quits earlier than expected. In a statement today, he says he plans to resign from Congress early, effective April 19th. When that happens, Republicans will have a 217 to 213 advantage in the House.
New tonight, the terror group ISIS. They've claimed responsibility for an attack in Moscow, Russia, though they've not yet offered any proof for that claim, which was made on their affiliated news agency. Now, more than 40 people were killed, over 100 more were injured in the attack after men in camouflage broke into a Moscow concert hall and opened fire.
Hopping into the weekend, where you can find the Easter Bunny and Easter eggs, plus all the other cool things to do, rain or shine.
Well, flood watch, that's been issued for the area for the daytime hours of Saturday. And along with it, we've got gale warnings in effect for area waterways. I'll have details on the rain and the wind coming up in just a few minutes.
First, allergy season. Have you felt it? It has been getting longer, climate change exacerbating it. Tough allergy seasons. We're going to find out how to cope with the longer pollen invasion. We'll be back in just 60 seconds.
Plumbing problems?
If your toilet won't flush and your water stops running, pick up the phone and call East Coast Plumbing.
Heating problems?
If it's cold outside and your heater's not running, pick up the phone and call East Coast Plumbing.
Marital problems? Yeah, call that guy.
If your toilet won't flush and your water stops running, pick up the phone and call East Coast Plumbing.
For all your plumbing and heating needs.
Cash or charge?
Charge.
Heads up! Heads up! Get back! Get back!
Sorry,
You don't know
game
me
time.
like that. Get back! Get back! You don't know me like that. Geek, geek. I ain't playing around. Make one false move, I take you down. Get back! Get back! You don't know me like that. Get back! Get back! You don't know me like that.
Get 2.9% financing for 72 months or get $2,000 in MAC cash on the 2023 Nissan Rogue.
This is Coast TV News at 11.
Signs of spring have already popped up here along the coast. Flowers are blooming on trees, and along with it, pollen levels are going up, leaving people to suffer. Trees like maple and juniper are the main culprits for the allergies so far this year. Warm weather returning earlier in the year as a result of climate change is causing pollen season to become longer and longer. Clear evidence of the earlier start to spring can actually be found in the cherry trees in Japan, which has a similar climate to the east coast of the United States.
There are data regarding when they flower going back to the 800s, so over 1,200 years worth of data. And basically what that shows is that in the last 20 to 30 years, the earlier seasons are unprecedented. And of course, a lot of that has to do with climate change and warming winters and earlier springs.
It is expected that this trend in longer and earlier allergy seasons will continue as the climate warms in the future.
Due to the forecasted weather for the weekend, the town of Berlin says the invasive vine workshop and cleanup that was originally planned for Saturday, that's now going to take place on Sunday. The focus of this event will be on removing English ivy to preserve local trees. The rescheduled time is now 9:30 a.m. at Stephen Decatur Park. If you can't make that cleanup, a second workshop will be held on Saturday, April 20th. That would be at 8:30 a.m.
Well, we've got a lot of stormy weather on the way for the next 24 hours here along the coast. Still looking pretty quiet out there this evening as I take a live look out on our Orsted camera in West Ocean City. But the clouds, they have already moved into the area, and very soon we're going to start to see some of that wet weather. So what you need to know for that stormy weather that's on the way for this weekend, well, we've got some flooding rains. We are going to want to take it slow as you're hitting those roadways on Saturday, and probably a good idea just to plan on being inside. We're going to be looking at several inches of rain possible across the region. Along with it, very gusty winds. Some power outages going to be possible as winds gust over 40 miles per hour over top of very saturated ground, and also coastal flooding. But the coastal flooding issue is actually going to hold off until Sunday into Monday due to just the wind direction. The wind direction is going to change to more out of the north to northeast as we head into Sunday, and that will finally push some of that water towards our coastline. So it's after the rain and wind has ended that the coastal flooding issues start to arise along the Delaware Bay and inland bays, when we could see some minor to moderate coastal flooding. We do have a flood watch, but that's not for that coastal flooding. That is for the rain expected tomorrow. That's in Sussex County, and we have gale warnings in effect on the Atlantic, the Delaware Bay, and those inland bays. That is for tomorrow. Winds are going to be gusting 40 to 50 miles per hour at times during the mid to late morning hours and then throughout the afternoon hours. Clouds, they've already arrived here along the coast, and soon as we pull out to a wider view, this rain that's moving through southern Virginia, that is going to reach us, and then a large expanse of wet weather with a developing area of low pressure across the southeast. That is all going to be working its way into our area. We can see that on our in-house futurecast by about 1 a.m. Widespread light rain. That intensifies as we head towards 5 a.m. So we're starting to see some of those yellows and orange shadings. That's more of that moderate intensity rainfall. It's going to get quite heavy and quite widespread heavy as we head towards those mid-morning hours. You see the yellow and orange shading, red shadings. It's intense rainfall, that is going to continue for several hours Saturday. And it's not going to wrap up until we head towards really the mid to late afternoon hours. Is around 2 p.m. The last of the rain is going to move through the area. Then we start to dry out as we head towards Saturday evening. But it's going to take some time to dry out due to the fact that we are going to see so much rain. Rainfall totals, a good 1 to 2 inches expected across the region. Probably going to see totals higher than that, though. A few areas likely going to see totals 3 to 4 inches. So flooding looking pretty likely, along with a few isolated power outages due to the fact that winds are going to be gusting 25 to 35 miles per hour by 7 a.m. and by 11 a.m. we could see winds gusting over 50. Our Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling 7-day forecast. First look weather day for Saturday with all that heavy rain. We do dry out Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday before more rain arrives on Wednesday. So certainly going to need that umbrella. CoastTV umbrella giveaway winner this evening, Rich Crumley from Lincoln, Delaware. Congratulations.
Thank you, Alex. And despite what you just saw there and the fact that it may not exactly feel like the first full weekend of spring, there are lots of things to do, rain or shine. CoastTV.
With St. Patrick's Day in the rear view, lots of coastal communities are hopping along to the next holiday celebrations. There are tons of options to see the Easter Bunny or hunt down eggs for prizes, so make note of these events. There are 2 places to have breakfast with the Easter Bunny in Worcester County on Saturday, at the Ocean Pines Community Center and at the Berlin American Legion Auxiliary, where there will also be a free egg hunt. Then on Sunday, the Bowers Fire Company is holding its annual egg hunt at Bowers Community Park Church Street from 11 to 2. The Children's Beach House is hosting the SEEK Fair, which stands for Safety, Enrichment, and Education for Kids Fair. This free event takes place from 10 to 2 Saturday at Lewis Elementary School, with most events taking place indoors. Kids' characters and the Easter Bunny are slated to be in attendance. We've been talking a lot about the bunny, but how about cats and dogs? It is National Adoption Week after all. The Brandywine Valley SPCA is teaming up with PetSmart Charities. Special adoption events are planned at the Rehoboth Beach PetSmart on Saturday from 11 to 4 and at the Millsboro location at the same time on Sunday. Grab some grub for a good cause. The annual Pullin', Peelin', and Pickin' fundraiser on Saturday supports the Dagsboro Volunteer Fire Department and the Good Old Boy Foundation. A competition between local cooks is raising money for the Home of the Brave Foundation that works to reduce homelessness among military veterans. The Paradise Pub has a wing contest from noon to 3 on Saturday. Taste and vote for your favorite wings. and vote for the best brewery and best costume at the 302 Beer Drinkers' Choice Awards. This event is on tap from noon to 4 at the Crooked Hammock in Lewis. $5 of every ticket sold will be donated to the Delaware Brewers Guild. One local brewery is teaming up with a seaweed farming company, and you can try their creation this weekend. Dogfish Head Craft Brewery's weekend of compelling ales and spirits kicks off with the launch of Siren's Kiss garlic kelp flavored vodka. A special 3-course menu will be introduced at the Rehoboth restaurant. A guided tasting experience is at the Milton Brewery on Saturday, and on Sunday, Chesapeake and Maine is having a lobster brunch. By the way, full disclosure, a member of the board of Coast TV's parent company, Draper Media, is a co-founder of Dogfish Head. You can read more about all of these cool things to do on CoastTV.com.
Here at North Bay Marina, we know that boaters have the most fun.
When you visit the Delmarva Design Center, you'll experience a selection of appliances, cabinetry, countertops, tile, and flooring all together in one showroom. The 10,000 square foot location has a variety of inspiring samples for any project size or budget. Your dedicated product experts and designers collaborate to bring your dream project to life. Come and see what the kitchen industry buzz is all about. Experience the Delmarva Design Center in Selbyville, Delaware, serving all of Delmarva's coast.
When you play the Maryland Lottery, please play responsibly. That means remember to spend within your limits, never borrow money to play, and know your odds of winning. To get more tips, scan the QR code or visit mdlottery.com/playresponsibly. Must be 18 years or older to play.
Your Ford dealer presents America's all-time best-selling SUV, Ford Explorer. Bronco Sport with superb off-road ability. The fun, fuel-efficient Ford Escape. Want more? Visit your local Ford dealer. Right now, get 2.9% financing for 60 months on a 2024 Bronco Sport. But hurry, this offer won't last long.
You've come a long way, Peninsula Bath. Sure has been fun.
Are you the bath guy?
Can you take out the trash?
Do you do lawns?
Listen, Linda, listen.
You should have called Peninsula Bath.
Khakis? Share with us your favorite Linda memory, and you'll get 2024 off your next bathroom remodel with Peninsula Bath.
Mercy, that's a great deal.
Thank you, Delmarva, for a great year.
All new Drew. Those paramedics saved your life.
Oh, yeah.
They're here.
Are they really?
Yeah.
A surprise reunion highlights heroes.
Thank you.
Monday at noon on Coast TV.
In Ocean City, emergency calls saw a big spike in the month of February. According to the Ocean City Police Department, they've seen a big jump over the last year. This past February, police calls to assist fire and EMS had jumped from 86 in 2023 to 124 in 2024, putting more strain on the system. As the calls continue to increase, Ellen Pickett is still amazed by their quick response time.
They're so good. They're perfect. They're there in a flash and just helpful and good to people.
As the need for emergency services continue to climb, the police department is starting a discussion that could change the regulations for which calls they need to join EMS on and which calls they don't. A change in those rules could potentially free up OCPD to focus on more pressing criminal matters. The wastewater treatment plant in Rehoboth Beach is nearing completion. The city says Phase 3 of the project is on track to be completed by the end of the year. This phase includes making a new dewatering facility and waste sludge holding tanks. The final phase to upgrade controls is in the design phase. According to the city, that work is expected to cost at least $12 million and is the reason that it was necessary for commissioners to raise wastewater fees for fiscal year 2025.
Coming up in sports, a cross-conference baseball clash. See who came out on top between Del Mar and Stephen Decatur.
Go fish when young fishermen can reel in new skills in Sussex County. Stay tuned. This is Coast TV News at 11.
Take your shot during the Dodge Power Shot days at McGee Motors.
Score a legendary Jeep Wrangler for just $299 a month. Take your shot at a Jeep Gladiator now up to $12,000 off. Get 0% financing for 60 months on Chrysler Pacifica hybrids. Plus, score an extra $7,500 off.
Or pick the new Dodge Hornet RT for just $189 a month.
That's a big win.
Take your shot during Dodge Power Shot days at McGee Motors in Georgetown, a family tradition since 1948.
Hey moms, you know those unforgettable face palms? Those moments that leave us both laughing and sighing. They're not just mishaps, there are shared stories. Share your unique mom moments with us. Go to coastlife.com/mom.
At Atlantic General Hospital, we've been busy. Busy expanding healthcare services that are second to none in our region. From cancer care and women's health services to orthopedics, gastroenterology, and more, we provide advanced health technologies delivered by top providers. Expert care every day. It's what you can count on from Atlantic General Hospital.
This is MJ Laughlin with IG Burton Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. The Jeep Celebration event is the perfect time to get into a new Jeep Wrangler with payments starting at just $389 per month with only $1,000 down payment. Or the Jeep Compass for just $299 per month. Plus, we have discounts up to $28,000 off Ram trucks or save up to $17 grand off Jeep Grand Cherokees. We have Gladiators starting under $38 grand. Stop by IG Burton Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram today in Melfort, Smyrna, Newark, or Berlin. Nobody beats a Burton deal. Nobody.
Stay ahead of our ever-changing coastal climate with the CoastTV First Alert Weather Team. Our team is always at work to deliver the accurate forecasts you need. With us, the weather is more than a forecast. It's a part of life.
Go fish. No, really, you can. Go fish this spring at some upcoming kids events. DenRex said its Division of Fish and Wildlife Aquatic Resources Education Center is going to be leading the way. In Sussex County, there's at Redden State Forest on July 13. The events are geared for ages 6 through 15 to come out with a parent, but anybody over 16 who comes along and wants to fish too needs a Delaware fishing license.
In your health news, for the first time ever, doctors say they've successfully completed the transplant of a genetically modified pig kidney into a living person. That person is a 62-year-old man who had been diagnosed with end-stage kidney disease. Mandy Gaither has more on the impact this may have on the future of treating human disease.
Following years and years of study, decades of study, months of planning, and hours of surgery, hope became a reality for our patient, Rick Slayman.
It's a world first. Doctors from Massachusetts General Hospital say a 62-year-old man in the final permanent stage of chronic kidney disease successfully received a transplant of a genetically modified pig kidney.
I'm pleased to report that Mr. Slayman is feeling well and recovering nicely.
This could be the future of transplants, allowing for viable and readily available organs to go to patients in desperate need. Researchers first transplanted genetically modified kidneys into primates. One survived up to 2 years, says the surgeon who performed this latest operation.
The outcomes in humans are expected to be more favorable because those gene edits were designed for humans rather than non-human primates.
Researchers say pig organs have a similar structure to human organs. The animals come in many sizes, they're easily bred, and have large litters.
By the end of this day, 17 Americans and more than double that number of patients around the world will die waiting for a transplant because there's just not enough donor organs to go around.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
This is the third such transplant of a pig organ into a human. The first were hearts transplanted into living patients. Both of those patients died weeks later.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
A win in walk-off fashion as Decatur took on Del Mar on the baseball diamond in a cross-conference matchup today. In the top of the sixth, 2-0 Del Mar. A man on second for Decatur, and Caden Shockley drops it into the gap, moving the Seahawks over to third. One out now, Decatur getting a chopper to third. And the throw home from Del Mar is high. One run comes in for Decatur. It's a 2-1 game. Next batter, Waylon Homegood lines a base hit up the middle. One run comes home and another dives in with the lead run. Decatur up 3-2. Bottom of the 7th, Del Mar gets a lead off base hit from Cade Niblett, and the Wildcats are chipping away. 1 out now, runner in scoring position. A grounder from Will Davis hops over Decatur's glove into center field. Tying run scores. It's 3-all. Then with the bases loaded, 3-1 count, and Aiden McCulley takes a walk. Del Mar gets a 4-3 come from behind victory and improves to 2-0 on the season. To college softball, Delaware State fell in their doubleheader against Coppin State by 1 in the first game and fell by a score of 8-2 in the second. They will look to get back in the win column in their doubleheader on Tuesday against Siena College. That'll do it for sports. Have a great night.
Right now, it's your choice during the Subaru A Lot to Love event going on at Gateway Subaru. Choose what fits your lifestyle and budget. Choose to lease a new 2024 Subaru Forester for only $299 a month, or take advantage of financing rates as low as 0.9%. Choose to lease a new 2024 Subaru Outback for only $299 a month, or take advantage of financing rates as low as 1.9%. Gateway Subaru, where every choice leads to a new adventure. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
Is the name of your bank changing again? The Farmers Bank of Willards has been a local independent bank for nearly 100 years. When you bank local, your money stays here in our community, where it benefits our local businesses, farms, and families. The Farmers Bank has real people ready to help and world-class features like our free mobile banking app with Locket debit card security, a Smart Sense savings program, and free checking with no minimum balance. Stop paying extra fees and switch to the Farmers Bank of Willards, where people matter.
When choosing windows and doors for your home, at Pella, it's your choice. We manufacture maintenance-free vinyl, fiberglass, and wood-clad windows and patio doors, all with lifetime warranties. High performance, energy efficient, and loaded with options to help make your house your home. Industry-first features and benefits make living easier and increase your home's value. Visit our Experience Center or call us today to schedule your free in-home consultation, where we bring the showroom to you.
Hi, it's Peter Guida, and on this episode of McQueen Classics, we're going to define what a classic car is. Any car 25 years or older, 1997 and below. So if it's languishing in your garage, we're going to come get it. We're going to turn it into cash, and we're going to help you sell it. Seriously, we're going to come get it. It's time for the ride of your dreams from McQueen's. Behind the new Redners on Route 9 in Lewis.
Prepare for an adrenaline rush like never before. Delmarva Sports Network is your destination for all the heart-pounding action of spring sports. From breathtaking strikeouts to awe-inspiring goals. Dive into the world of baseball, softball, boys and girls lacrosse, and girls soccer. DSN, where hometown heroes transform into legends and where champions are forged. Don't miss a single moment of unforgettable action. Delmarva Sports Network. Local teams, big dreams.
Time for a calendar check. Tomorrow is March 23rd, which is National Puppy Day, a day to celebrate pets and those in shelters waiting to be adopted. But it's also National Tamale Day. The Mexican street food staple dates back to 5000 BC. They're made with a dough called masa that is wrapped in a corn husk or banana leaves, steamed and then eaten directly from the passage. Tamales can be sweet or savory.
Well, tomorrow is also going to be a pretty rough day with a first alert weather day on the way to the coast. We've got a lot of rain, a lot of wind on the way. Right now, though, still pretty quiet out there as you take a live look out on a Hershey Exteriors camera at the 45th Street Tap House. That is going to be changing over the next few hours. If you want a forecast, be sure to call into our CoastTV First Alert Weather Line, 443-880-9100. Your forecast just a call away. What you're going to get is a forecast for some stormy weather, heavy rain, strong gusty winds, 1 to 4 inches of rain expected tomorrow. That could result in flooding. Wind gust over 45 miles per hour. That could result in a few isolated power outages. The good news is at least one day this weekend we should see the sunshine. That will be on Sunday with highs near 52 degrees, and we stay dry until more rain returns by next Wednesday.
Thank you, Alex, and thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News at 11. For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is up next. We'll see you tomorrow for Coast TV News at 6 p.m. Have a great weekend.